Oligarchy. It's a form of government, and the term is derived from the Greek word oligas, which means little, and archo, which means rule or authority, domination, whether politically, religiously, economically, or militarily. Throughout history, oligarchic power structure have been seen as authoritarian department on obedience and oppression. The Greek philosopher Aristotle pioneered the use of this term in the sense of rule by the rich. In the early 20th century, Robert Michaels developed a theory that democrats, like large organizations, tend to turn into oligarchy. And this necessary division of labor in large organizations leads to the creation of ruling class interested in mostly to protect its power. He also described the exclusive consolidation of power by a dominant religious or ethnic minority as a form of oligarchy. Examples of this system are the state of South Africa under the apartheid regime, the state of Liberia under the rule of liberal Americans, the Sultanate Zanzibar in Africa, and the state of Rhodesia, where he was seen the institution of oligarchy by the distance of primarily foreign settlers as a legacy of various forms of colonialism. Pre-summit oligarchy. A business group can be defined in a minority if it meets the following conditions. Number one, the landlords are the largest private landlords in the country. Number two, it has the full political power to advance its own interests. Number three, the owners control several firms whose activities are intercepted, coordinated. Intellectual view. The novelist George Bernard Shaw defined in its play Major Barbara, which was first shown in 1905 and published for the first time in 1907, a new type of oligarchy, which is the intellectual oligarchy that works against the interests of common people. So he says, I now want to give the common man his weapons against the educated man. I love the common people. I want to arm them against the lawyer and the doctor, the priest, the literary man, the professor, the artist and the politician who was in the most dangerous and disastrous power, and his tyranny of the fools, scoundrels, and fraudsters. I want democratic force strong enough to force the intellectual oligarchy to use its genius for the common good and consumption. Situation viewed as oligarchy. Number one, state of Philippines. During the presidency of Ferdinand Marcos between years 1965-1986, several monopolies arose in the Philippines and focused partiality around the family and thus closed the president election in 2016. They spoke about dismantling the oligarchy during his presidency. This is the next president of Philippines. Next situation, it was shown in the Soviet Union and Russia. Since the collapse of the Soviet Union and the privatization of the economy in December 1991, privately owned multinational corporations in Russia, including producers of oil, natural gas, and minerals, have contributed in the view of many analysts to the rise of the Russian oligarchy, most of which are directly linked to the highest governmental officials, such as the head of the state, like Mr. Boris Yeltsin. Situations viewed as oligarchy. Number three is Ukraine. The Ukrainian oligarchy is a group of businessmen who quickly appeared on the economic and political scene of Ukraine after the independence in 1991. In general, there are 35 groups of oligarchy in Ukraine. On September 23, 2021, the Ukrainian government passed law number 1780, which mainly focuses on protecting national interests and limiting the influence of oligarchy on democracy in Ukraine. Number four is Iran. Now we move on to one of the most important and clear oligarchy systems, especially the religions oligarchy, the religious government in Iran, which was formed after the Iranian Revolution in 1979, is described as the rule of religious oligarchy led by an alliance of hard the communist, theorists, and foundation cliques. A decimal under the title of Ayatollah, the highest ranking chief cleric in the political system, is the supreme leader of Rahbar, according to the Iranian destination, who remains in office for life and is considered infallible and the protector of faith. According to communist definitions, clerks supervise the activities of parliament and control the armed forces, Iranian state media, sectors of national economy, and religious funds. The supreme leader is also the military commander of Iranian armed forces and directly controls the bloc of communist paramilitary groups known as the Iranian Revolutionary Guards. Situation number 5 is the United States of America, and we will talk about USA and Russia in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.